Hello, my name is Rob Grayston, and I'm going to be standing as the Labour candidate for Salisbury Ward in the South Cambridgeshire District Council elections, and this here is Mike Nettleton, who is going to be standing for the Shelfords and Stapleford Ward on May the 5th. Antony Carpen has invited us to discuss various local issues, such as housing, which is a real issue across the country as well as in South Cambridgeshire. Now, whilst there are some houses being built by the council, it really doesn't seem to be the right number considering the population, and the amount of young people who are having to go away and then return is becoming a real problem. So, Mike, how exactly do you feel this is affecting the Shelfords and Stapleford ward?
Thanks, Rob. I think you're totally right. I mean, if I'm out canvassing, one of the major issues people raise on the doorstep is the lack of affordable housing. Many people have kids in their 20s and even early 30s who are still living at home because they can't afford anywhere. We know that a huge amount of money is being invested in building new homes around the Addenbrooks area. So we have over 20,000 new houses there, but almost none of that housing is affordable. I think even when it claims it's affordable housing, it doesn't do what it says on the tin. Nobody locally starting out in a working life, even on a quite decent wage, can afford that housing. I think the only way forward is for the council to start building public housing again. Nothing wrong with the right to buy, but where people exercise that right, you need to build replacement housing stock on a one-for-one basis at least. Also, there needs to be further funding of the housing associations, and the government policy of allowing or forcing housing associations to sell their housing stock, I believe, is totally wrong.
Yeah, well, as someone who is currently renting, I'm very much in agreement with Mike there. So that's one particular issue that's been affecting us. As well as that, we've also got the issue of cycling, which of course a lot of people are engaged with in South Cambridgeshire, and we have a lot of cycling facilities. So, Mike, how do you feel those cycling facilities have been implemented, and do you think there are any issues surrounding them?
Okay, thanks, Rob. I think it's very, very patchy. In some areas we do have excellent cycling facilities. So over the last 10 years we've had the developments of the Addenbrooks cycling path, obviously from Addenbrooks into Great Shelford. The surface of that path is excellent. I believe more could be done to improve it. Better lighting, for instance, would be one of my priorities there. But outside of that, too much of the cycling facilities are inadequate, and they're not encouraging people to cycle either around the local villages or into Cambridge. As an example, we've talked to local cyclists about improving the safety for cyclists in the centre of Shelford. One of the things we'd like to do is to try and have some sort of protected right turn filter from the A1301 running through the village for cyclists turning right into Granham's Road to get onto the Addenbrooks cycle path. The way to do that really ought to be erecting traffic lights at that junction, but we know the traffic lights are going to cost at least £50,000. The county council won't fund those, so the things we'd like to do, but just not enough money to do it. Okay,
well, yeah, of course, funding has been a real issue with all of the savings we're being told that are being made, which are actually cuts. But as well as that, another issue which hasn't really been talked about so much is how to engage young people in the upcoming election and in politics generally. So especially bearing in mind a lot of people who are coming to the political age are being educated in Cambridge, and transport's such an issue for them. What sort of ways do you think that we could really engage with these people?
I think that is difficult. Again, going out canvassing, I find a real mixture in young people. Some of them are very politically savvy, very engaged. When you're canvassing, they want to talk to you about politics, both locally and nationally. Unfortunately, we have 50% or so who have just been turned off completely by politics for whatever reason. They won't vote, they won't read any political literature, they won't watch the news, they're just completely disengaged. Tackling that is difficult. I think eventually you can really only do it at national level by our politicians regaining the respect of people across the country, by people realising finally that politics actually can be good and can bring benefits to young people as well as the rest of the population. I would say for young people out there watching this and you're motivated and you want to get involved in politics, do please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, having been out and about in Sawston, I've talked to some young people who actually got a petition together to try and get a half pipe or skating facilities in Sawston, as Sawston has the space for it. And that's exactly the sort of thing that we really need to actually talk to young people about and see if we can implement. If you've got ideas, get in touch and we'll see what we can do to make them happen. So thank you very much for your time. I've been Rob Grayston for Sawston Ward. This has been Mike Nettleton for the Shelfords and Stapleford Ward. And don't forget to vote on May the 5th. Thank you very much.